Welcome back to the channel. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Kristen and this is Growing Zone 9B. So today we are going to be picking some roses. So we are going to be making I think some rose water. It's really quite prevalent in Persian recipes, and I have a Persian recipe coming up that I'm going to be making, and so I need to go ahead and make the rose water. So as you guys can see, I've got some roses coming in. And so you don't need a lot, so we're gonna go ahead and pick a little basket full of these roses. I still have passion fruit going. There's a passion fruit, there's some passion fruit up in there. And here's my basket. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started, and I'm gonna pick these. Now I know you can use roses from the store, but that is not what I recommend, just because, you know, they could have some type of toxin or something that they've put in them, some type of preservative to keep those flowers blooming, and you just don't know necessarily how they were grown. So so I just choose to grow this bush here. I think it's called, and I could be mistaken, I'm gonna go look it up and I'll put it in the notes or something. I think it's called a Louis Philippe or Felipe Louis or something like that. It puts off a beautiful smell. Our local nursery does sell these. It is like the only place that I've been able to find this rose without going online. Places like, I've never seen it at like a Lowe's or a Home Depot or anything like that. But like I said, I will track that down for you guys. So yeah, so I'm gonna go ahead and get started. You can see that we need to do some trimming. It's starting to look like a jungle out here. This is our hibiscus. It's definitely, we've been getting so much rain lately, it's just out of control. So I'm gonna go ahead and trim that up. You can see our passion fruit is starting to take over the pathway and the bamboo here. I do keep this bamboo in a bucket down there, just to keep it under control. The passion fruit is also growing right here. You can see it. It's taking over our grapes. So I need to kind of trim it back. I knew that that could be a possibility and it could happen, but it does need to be a little bit trimmed. So I'm gonna go ahead and work on that. So that's the stuff that we have going on for today. So I'm gonna take you guys in after I get these roses picked, and take you guys on this recipe with me. So it's super simple, super easy. I will show you how to make some rose water, and you can use rose water for like multiple purposes. So I'll also teach you guys about that as soon as I get these picked. All right, see you guys in the kitchen. All right, so while we're outside getting our roses, I just wanted to show you that the rain is just bringing on such beautiful flowers. So yeah, there's lots of blooms all over this plant. So yeah, we've got lots of stuff going into bloom, so I'm excited about that part. But yeah, all right, we're gonna head inside now. All right, friends, so we're back in the kitchen, and I have collected my roses. So you're gonna need, I would say this is about 3/4 of a cup to 1 cup. Make sure that your roses are clean and organic. I just ran these under the water, rinsed them off really well. You just don't want to get like any maybe like little spiders that might be hanging out in, or dirt or anything. It's been raining a lot here, so I'm pretty sure that this is like really fairly clean, but you just never know. So I just have like a regular size kind of little pot, and I just dump them all in. And I would say, like, this is just how I do it. For every 1 cup of rose petals, I'm gonna add 2 cups of water. And I just pour it directly in. Some people like to have their petals more like clear, and they don't wanna have to do draining. But what I'll do is I'll end up taking this, rinsing it out, and then taking it and sticking it over the top of the jar, and then just draining it into my jar for use with food consumption. Some people like to do it where they take a lid and they flip their lid upside down, and they put like a little bowl that would be tall enough to almost reach the top, and let the condensation kind of flow through from the bottom. So let me get a lid and I'll show you guys. All right, so it would be a lid that fits the top of your container, and then you just flip it upside down. Make sure obviously the top is clean, and what will happen is it will steam up and then it will drip down into your container. I really prefer a lid that doesn't have like a handle. You probably want one that's got like a circle type knob to it. This one's obviously too big for the container that I'm going to be cooking in, but nonetheless, I hope that you get the point of what I'm trying to say. So this is gonna cook or simmer. I would say it's more like, for me, I like to just kind of do a kind of like between low and medium. So you're really at that simmering piece of it. And I just cook it for about 10 or 15 minutes. I let it sit for another 5 minutes or so to really get the deliciousness out of it. If you need to get a fine type strainer instead of this, you can use that as well. Usually what happens is that it kind of clumps up, and so you don't really have to worry about getting any contaminants or something else if you're looking for something to be more like pure. But for me, I just like the color of it. I will show you guys as soon as it's done. So I'll go ahead and cook this. You guys don't really need to see that part, I don't think. But I mean, I can take you over there. I still have my roses over there from my fiance. Aren't they beautiful? Still looking lovely. Maybe that's what inspired me to make my rose water today. So yeah, I'm gonna put this almost to medium heat. As you guys can see, like, here's the low, here's the high. So I just took it to medium. I don't know what is on there. I'm gonna have to clean that off. But anyway, so we've obviously been cooking already this morning. We had breakfast. So I'm just gonna go ahead and cook this down. I will show you the beautiful color that ends up coming up from it. And like I said, so you're gonna cook it for about 10 minutes, and then you wanna let it sit. For me personally, this is just how I do it. Do your own research. You don't ever have to follow my recipes. And then I just leave it for like about another 5 minutes or so, and then I will come over here and I will drain it for you guys, and so we will see what that final product looks like. And then I will show you a Persian recipe that eventually that we're going to be making with it. I don't know if I'm going to make that Persian recipe today or not, but we will definitely have our rose water ready. Now you can use rose water you can use rose water in so many facets. You can use it as like a hair conditioner, you can use it as a face tonic. You know, rose water used to be basically of the gods, is what they would say. Is, you know, people would bathe in just rose petals, and so I think that's kind of where that bath concept kind of took place, where women would just bathe in roses. But roses can also be an aphrodisiac, so when they steam up and cook in your house, you know, just keep that in mind, that if you feel like love is in the air, then you will know why. And that's, you know, I think a really beautiful thing. And I think part of the reason why roses are sent is because of that. Like, they definitely have an aphrodisiac component. I'm sure there's other reasons, but that is definitely one of them. So, all right, I will bring you guys back as soon as the rose water is ready to put in the jar. All right, friends, so we have cooked it down. That's kind of what it looks like. I'm gonna go ahead and pour it in. I'm right-handed, so y'all are, it's gonna be a little difficult. So let's see if I can even get it in. I put a paper towel down. Ah! I should have probably done this over the sink, but there was probably a better way to do this, like a funnel. I'm getting it all over. But it smells nice, so it's not like anything bad. All right. Dang, that took that right up to the top. All right, let me get, well, I'll show y'all. Oh, I got a little bit. Not much, though. So there's not much debris. I could have used a finer strainer. Look how pretty that is. It's actually like, you can kind of see, it's almost like burgundy, kind of like a wine. It's beautiful color, but that's what it looks like when you're using all natural products. Y'all saw I don't treat those plants out there. I do feed them. I do feed a rose bush every I try to every year, but I try to keep it really mulched up. It really, that particular rose I have found really likes kind of the shady area that it's in. I did buy a couple more of those roses up at the nursery, and I had planted them throughout my a couple of them throughout the yard, and literally basically almost every one of them died. I have another one. It's not grown as prolifically as this one over here in the corner has, and it really has put on every single year, maybe 2 times at least a year. I might get 3 if I'm lucky, but in fairness, it really does about 2 times a year. And I will tell you this, sometimes I do dehydrate the rose petals and stuff. You can do rose tea. There's just all kinds of things you can do with roses, so just keep that in mind, that roses just aren't beautiful. They can serve, you know, an alternative purpose for you. So even if you're just growing for the beauty of just growing, and it's not necessarily for sustainability or food, know that roses have their purpose in this world. You know, I say this all the time. In the Bible it says the leaves of the trees were for the healing of the nations. And so you know, we have to keep that in mind. It was written, and so we have just lost our way, lost our path as far as healing goes, and just relearning these things that are medicinal and just healing for the body. And so I am going to now set that aside, and I'm going to pull out my Persian cookbook that I have, and I think this is definitely cooled down enough that I'm hoping that we might be able to make a recipe. So this is how you make rose water. So that was really what this video is about. I think as we start to move forward through me making videos, I have quite a few videos up right now, and being that I work and I have a lot going on, I'm even starting to lose track of what I've done and what I haven't done. And so I don't want to be repeating myself through processes, because a lot of times, you know, we eat food that's similar, or, you know, has a lot of kind of the same things. You know, you always eat like beef, chicken, potentially fish, breads, stuff like that. So I just don't want to be duplicating recipes for you guys. You'd be like, oh, you already made pumpkin banana bread, or you already did this or that. So I'm gonna just try to keep it to, when I'm doing these cooking videos, for sure I'm gonna try to keep it to like a single type video, where before I was mixing a couple things together, like this recipe goes good with this or that or whatever. So be looking forward to that. There'll be a little bit shorter videos, but nonetheless, I think it'll be easier for you all to find. If you're doing searches, you'll be able to find things just like this. I'm just gonna probably make this a really simple label and just make it making rose water, and then that way you guys will have this easy recipe to do. All right, everyone, until next time, love one another, be kind, and I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much for being a part of this channel. I am so grateful and humbled by this opportunity.